Hello, everybody. This is Brandon, and this is my initial reaction to Happy Death Day 2. The first movie was a whole lot of fun, and I hadn't expected pretty much anything out of the movie when I watched it. The difference coming into this one was that I knew the first movie was good, so I had an expectation. And it didn't really let me down. It's fun. It's pretty much more of the same. If you liked the first movie, you're going to like this one. And they managed to do a sequel that wasn't just a up the ante of the first movie. You know how you go see a slasher movie sequel and all of a sudden there's a higher body count, or if you go see an action movie sequel, there's more explosions and more kicking. This movie is much subtler than that, I would say. The humor's still pretty much on point. There's a couple of gags that kind of missed with me, but I did find myself smiling a lot, and I laughed out loud a couple of times in the theater. The best part of the movie for me, though, was how touching it could be at certain points, and it might not be the same for everybody else, but in recent years I've gone through an event in my life that had a very powerful emotional impact on me, and this movie treads similar water for our main character, which brings me to one of my biggest qualms with the film. Is I really feel like the filmmakers made a choice at the beginning of the movie that kind of chickened out on a setup that they were establishing, and that was the choice of who they were going to follow primarily, of who the protagonist of the film was going to be. Now, don't get me wrong, Jessica Rothe is fantastic. Without her to carry the first movie and to sell all of the ridiculousness and to distract away from all of the plot holes with her just commitment to the role, the first movie would have fallen flat on its face. And the second movie, I can't say for sure that it would have fallen flat on its face without her doing the bulk of the lifting. Because for all we know, the other character who you kind of think at the beginning of the movie is going to be the main character, maybe he could have been just as good at selling it all. He does do a good job of selling the stuff that he has to sell throughout the movie, but I feel like the filmmakers were in the process of making the movie, and they really wanted to try to have a different perspective for the sequel, and then they were like, no, we need her to really carry this one home, just like she did the first one. And to me, that kind of makes the movie suffer from a bit of too much of the same, I guess you could say. It doesn't hurt it all that much, but it's a qualm. It's a qualm. And there was one moment towards the end of the movie that kind of jarred me out of it, because it seems like a glaring plot hole, but if you think about it, you can justify it. There are ways, with technology and cell phones and all that stuff, that a character could have been in one place and communicated with a character in another place, but the movie kind of implied that the characters were in the same place, and then they weren't. You'll just have to see it. If you're anything like me, it'll stand out to you. And there's a couple of gags in the movie that don't really quite land, but that's a small one. But this is my initial reaction, and it's supposed to be short, quick, to the point, and let you know if you should go see the movie or not. And the answer is yes. Yes, you should go see Happy Death Day 2. It's fun and entertaining. And, I feel like there's going to be a third movie. Stick around for the credits. There is a mid-credit scene. Marvel has slipped into the lexicon with the advent of the mid-credit scene, so stick around for that. It sets up a third movie, and I have no doubt that there will be a third one, because This movie had a $9 million budget, and I'm pretty sure it's going to easily make back its money. And that's it. So go out, have some fun, watch Happy Death Day 2. It's well worth the price of admission. I'm not sure whether I would recommend a matinee or a nighttime showing yet. You'll have to tune in for my actual review to get that. And, if you like what you're seeing, if you like the ideas, just go ahead and like, subscribe, and Judy chop that little notification bell. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a great night. And remember, always be kind to every living thing.